It is a truly astonishing thought, but a single teaspoon of good, healthy garden soil contains more living organisms than there are people on this planet. Billions of them. Tiny, microscopic life forms, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, all working away in a complex, bustling community right beneath our wellies. We often overlook this hidden world, focusing instead on what we can see above the ground. We fuss over leaves and flowers, worrying about pests and diseases, and reach for a bottle or a box to solve our problems. But the real secret to a thriving, resilient garden isn't found in a chemical factory. It lies in the soil itself. It is all about fostering life, not just feeding plants. For many years, we have been taught to think of plant nutrition in a very simple way. We are told that plants need nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the famous NPK you see printed on fertilizer bags. So, we dutifully sprinkle these chemicals onto our soil, believing we are giving our plants everything they need. This approach, however, completely misses the point. It is a bit like feeding a person nothing but vitamin pills. It might keep them alive, but it will not make them truly healthy. Plants have evolved over millions of years to form a partnership with soil microbes, a beautiful, symbiotic relationship that we are only just beginning to fully appreciate. This is because living soil does far more than just hold a plant upright. It is a dynamic ecosystem. The vast network of microbes acts as a plant's external digestive system. They break down organic matter, fallen leaves, old roots, compost, and transform it into nutrients that plants can easily absorb. They are the chefs of the soil, preparing a balanced, slow-release meal for your plants, exactly when they need it. Synthetic fertilizers, on the other hand, are like a fast food hit. They provide a quick, often excessive burst of nutrients that can lead to weak, sappy growth, making plants more susceptible to pests and diseases. So the next time you are in your garden, I want you to think differently about the ground you are standing on. It is not just dirt. It is a living, breathing entity, the very foundation of your garden's health and vitality. By nurturing this soil life, you move away from being a mere plant feeder and become a true gardener, an orchestrator of a natural system. You create a garden that is not just surviving but thriving, one that is more resilient, more beautiful, and far more in tune with the rhythms of nature. This is the real joy of gardening, working with nature, not against it. Now, you might be thinking that cultivating this microscopic world sounds complicated or expensive. Nothing could be further from the truth. You do not need a laboratory or a scientific degree. In fact, you can create a powerful microbial solution, a sort of probiotic for your garden, using simple ingredients you likely already have in your kitchen. It is wonderfully easy and costs next to nothing. This simple brew will introduce a diverse population of beneficial microbes into your soil, kickstarting the natural processes that lead to a truly vibrant garden. All you need is a source of carbohydrates, some water, and a little bit of patience. Let us get brewing. Find a clean bucket or a large jar. For your carbohydrate base, you can use something like brown sugar, molasses, or even the water left over from washing rice. These simple sugars are the perfect food to wake up and multiply the naturally occurring microbes. For every 1 part of sugar or molasses, add about 20 parts of water. If you're using rice water, you do not need to add any more water. Give it a good stir to dissolve the sugar, then cover the container loosely with a cloth. You want to keep debris out, but allow air to circulate. Now simply leave your concoction to ferment in a warm, dark place for a few days. Anywhere from 3 to 7 days is usually about right. You will know it is working when it develops a slightly sweet, fermented, almost vinegar-like smell. It should not smell rotten or putrid. If it does, something has gone wrong, and you should start again. During this time, the microbes present in the sugar and the air will multiply at an incredible rate, creating a potent, living liquid. You have just brewed a batch of your very own garden gold, teeming with life and ready to work its magic. Once your brew is ready and smells pleasantly fermented, it is time to use it. But it is very concentrated, so you must dilute it before applying it to your garden. A good rule of thumb is to mix 1 part of your microbial solution with about 20 parts of water. Add this diluted mixture to a watering can, and you are ready to go. Water the soil around the base of your plants. your vegetables, your flowers, your shrubs, and even your fruit trees. Do this every couple of weeks throughout the growing season. You are not just watering your plants, you are inoculating the soil with an army of helpful allies. Applying your homemade microbial solution is a fantastic first step, but to truly unlock its power, you need to give those tiny helpers a good home and a steady supply of food. This is where the simple act of mulching becomes one of the most important things you can do in your garden. Mulch is simply a layer of organic material that you spread over the surface of your soil. It can be anything from garden compost or leaf mold to wood chippings or even cardboard. When you combine your microbial brew with a good, thick layer of mulch, something truly magical begins to happen. Think of it this way. Your microbial solution is the workforce, and the mulch is their food and shelter. When you water the soil with your brew, you are introducing billions of active microbes. The mulch then protects them from the drying sun and harsh winds, keeping the soil beneath moist and at a more stable temperature. This creates the perfect environment for them to thrive and get to work. As they feast on the underside of the mulch layer, they begin to break it down, slowly and steadily releasing a rich supply of nutrients right where the plant roots can find them. The benefits are immense, and you will soon see them in your plants. As the microbes work, they produce sticky substances that bind soil particles together, creating a wonderful, crumbly structure. This improved structure allows water to penetrate deeply rather than running off the surface, meaning your soil stays moist for longer and you need to water less often. It also creates air pockets, which are vital for healthy root growth. Your plants will develop stronger, more extensive root systems, making them better able to find water and nutrients and anchor themselves firmly in the ground. Furthermore, this thriving underground ecosystem creates a protective barrier around your plant's roots. A diverse community of beneficial microbes can outcompete and suppress the harmful pathogens that cause diseases like root rot. It is nature's own form of plant immunity. You will find that your plants are simply healthier, more vigorous, and better able to withstand the stresses of pests, disease, and even drought. This powerful combination of microbes and mulch builds a resilient, self-sustaining system, reducing your workload and creating a garden that truly looks after itself. Creating a living soil is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process, a gentle partnership with the natural world. Once you have introduced your microbes and given them a good layer of mulch to feast on, the key is to keep them happy and active all season long. The best way to do this is to reapply your diluted microbial solution regularly. A little and often approach is far better than a single large dose. Watering your soil with the brew every 2 weeks or so during the spring and summer will constantly replenish the microbial populations and keep the whole system buzzing with life. It is also important to think about how you treat your soil in general. Every time we dig or rotivate, we disturb and destroy the delicate fungal networks and microbial communities that we have worked so hard to encourage. Of course, some digging is unavoidable, but try to adopt a no-dig or minimal dig approach where possible. Instead of turning your soil over each year, simply add a fresh layer of compost or mulch to the surface in autumn or spring. The earthworms and microbes will do the work for you, pulling that organic matter down into the soil, improving its structure and fertility without any heavy lifting. Remember to keep your soil covered as much as possible. Bare soil is vulnerable soil. It is easily eroded by wind and rain, and the sun can bake it hard, killing off the delicate life within. A constant mulch of organic matter is the best protection. As one layer breaks down, simply add another on top. This mimics the natural process of a forest floor, where a constant supply of fallen leaves feeds the soil. This continuous cycle of decay and renewal is the engine that drives a healthy garden ecosystem, and it is a wonderfully simple system to replicate in your own patch. Ultimately, gardening with microbes is about a shift in perspective. It is about trusting nature's blueprint and working with it, not against it. It is about understanding that healthy plants grow from healthy soil, and healthy soil is soil that is teeming with life. So, Put away the chemical fertilizers and embrace the power of the unseen world beneath your feet. Brew your own garden gold, be generous with your mulch, and tread lightly on the earth. You will be rewarded with a garden that is not only more productive and beautiful, but also more resilient, sustainable, and a true joy to be in.